Welcome to Recap Bay. In today's video, we will show an action thriller film from 2017 titled American Assassin. A quick warning, there will be major spoilers ahead. American Assassin begins by showing a man named Mitch Rapp and his girlfriend, Katrina Harper, who are on vacation in Ibiza, Spain. Mitch intends to propose to Katrina with a ring that is used as a necklace pendant. He looks happy when recording their moments together on the beach. After that, Mitch took the initiative to buy drinks for himself and his girlfriend. Suddenly, Mitch's happiness turns into a nightmare when a group of terrorists storm the place, shooting people indiscriminately, injuring Mitch and killing Katrina. 18 months later, Mitch, now overcome by his desire for revenge, has trained in martial arts and marksmanship. Not only that, Mitch also finds out about the terrorist group responsible for Katrina's death and tries to get in touch with them. Mitch managed to establish contact with Adnan, the leader of the terrorist group. Mitch tries to convince the man of his hatred of the United States and his desire to join the group. Unknown to Mitch, it turned out that all this time, his movements were monitored by the CIA, especially after Mitch was able to establish contact with Adnan, the leader of a terrorist group who is also being targeted by the CIA. Mitch finally managed to convince Adnan and got an invitation to meet him in person in Libya. When Mitch finally meets Adnan, the man responsible for the death of his lover, and about to take revenge, suddenly their hiding location is ambushed by a group of United States Special Forces, where Adnan is killed in the attack. Mitch is very furious because he could not kill Adnan with his own hands, so Mitch vented his frustration by repeatedly stabbing the dead terrorist before being dragged out by US troops from the place. In a CIA facility, Mitch was interrogated for his actions. After 30 days of debriefing, Mitch was then offered the opportunity by the CIA Deputy Director, Irene Kennedy, to join the Black Operations Unit codenamed Orion. Irene then brought Mitch to meet the head of Orion, Stan Hurley, a former member of the United States Navy SEAL and also a Cold War veteran, who will train Mitch as well as the other potential recruits. Stan not only taught about alertness and vigilance that every member of his team should have, but also taught him to control his emotions while on a mission. Later, Irene and several important US officials visiting the Iranian embassy in London to inquire about plutonium-type weapons-grade nuclear material that had been stolen from a decommissioned Russian nuclear facility. But Minister Behrouz denied Iran's involvement in the theft or trade in nuclear materials. Meanwhile, in Poland, it appears that some Russians are making a transaction to sell plutonium nuclear material with a man nicknamed Ghost. Because the van they were using looks suspicious, however, when the cops insist on checking the inside of the van, Ghost kills them, as well as the Russians. Then flees from there and disappears into the crowd. In Virginia, USA, Stan saw a news report about the incident in Poland, and was able to identify the perpetrator as Ghost, a former Navy SEAL and Orion operator who is believed to have died in action several years ago. Stan immediately meets Irene, who then assigns Stan and his team to Istanbul, Turkey, to thwart the nuclear material trade transaction that will be carried out by Ghost and an Iranian man named Sharif. Stan leaves for Istanbul with Mitch and Victor, where they are greeted by a female agent named Annika, who will assist them during the mission. Ghost, who saw Victor's arrival, realized that the man was a member of the Orion team, so Ghost stabbed him to death and left, as did Sharif. Because Victor died and their mission had failed, Stan then cancelled the mission and ordered Mitch to return. However, Mitch ignored his superior's orders and went after Sharif. Although Mitch managed to kill Sharif and take his laptop, Stan did not necessarily praise Mitch's success because he considered Mitch to have acted rashly, and could disrupt the entire mission and endanger the lives of many people. Not long after, Irene came to meet them, and ordered them to continue the mission, because Ghost managed to get the plutonium and plans to assemble it to be used as a functional nuclear weapon. The information leads Stan and his team to Rome. While in Rome, Mitch uncovers Annika as a foreign agent for Iran. Elsewhere, Minister Baruz is having a meeting with Ghost, where it turns out that Minister Baruz has conspired with Ghost to make nuclear weapons that they will use to attack the United States. Stan, who meets his old friend, a former agent named Ashani, who tells Stan about Minister Baruz's involvement as the mastermind of all this. A shot fired by Ghost kills Ashani and Ghost then appears and captures Stan. Ghost then reveals the reason for doing all this, which is to take revenge because he felt hurt when he was dishonorably discharged from the military because he was considered the cause of trouble, even though he had been fighting hard to risk his life to defend the United States. Tells Stan that he can earn a lot of money doing this kind of work. Irene then orders Mitch to return to the United States because the mission has been cancelled following Stan's capture, and that she will deploy special forces to complete their mission. However, Mitch insists on continuing the mission and frees Stan. At the CIA safe house in Rome, Mitch arrives and frees Annika. After that, Mitch and Annika work together to find the underground base that Ghost uses to build nuclear devices. Ghost tortures Stan, but Stan stood his ground and said nothing. When Minister Baruz demands that the interrogation be completed quickly, Ghost kills him and his henchmen, then activates the nuclear bomb. Irene immediately sent special forces to the place. Mitch finally finds and frees Stan, who is seriously injured. However, Stan told him to immediately go after Ghost and prevent him from detonating his nuclear bomb. Mitch immediately chases after Ghost's boat, while the Sixth Fleet, having been warned of an impending nuclear attack via CIA channels, prepares for the attack. After a fierce battle, Mitch finally manages to kill Ghost, and tries to divert the boat from the Sixth Fleet to protect it from the explosion, before throwing the nuclear weapon into the sea and escaping in a Navy rescue helicopter. Stan, who had recovered from his injuries, met with Irene and who knew that Mitch was on vacation in Dubai, but didn't say that to Irene, who asked about Mitch's whereabouts.